Hai semua, my name is Suganti Aplasami. I'm from Faculty of Earth Science, University Malaysia Kelantan, and currently a research fellow in Institute of Food Security and Sustainable Agriculture. Today I'm going to present about ginger's species diversity and distribution along a natural trail of Lodging Highlands, Kelantan. Let's go! As an introduction, Lodging Highland is situated in Kelantan and very near to Gua Musang. It is a highland tropical rainforest area with diverse agriculture and ecotourism activity. The small yellow box actually indicates the location for Lodging Highland Kelantan, and it also have a small settlement of Temia ethnic community and very famous for Rafflesia curry, which is the icon of this particular island. There are three main attractive plants that can be found in Lodging Highlands, Kelantan. One of it is in the which you can see in the left hand side, Rafflesia curry. Then the middle, wild orchid, and the one on the right is the pitcher plant or Nepenthes. This tree is very rare to be found in wild, but they can be found in Lodging Highlands, Kelantan, which makes this place a very special place. So what's happening in Lodging Island? Lodging Island face a lot of problem due to anthropogenic activities. The place is stripped bare to give way for agriculture activities and also ecotourism activities. So the paper cuttings here show what's happening in recent years in Lodging Island. The development of agriculture activity caused the deforestation in the islands. This is actually reported by Rao et al. In 2016. So, when they do this deforestation, the Temia people tend to lose more because their livelihood depends highly in the forest. They go foraging every day. Foraging means they go inside the forest to look for food in terms of herbs and fish and all that from the forest itself. So when deforestation happens, the Temia people they actually lose a lot from this activities. So come back to our topic. What is Zingiberraceae all about? Let's have a look. Wild gingers belong to the family Zingiberraceae under the order of Zingiber. Order Zingiber also hosts another one more famous family, that is Musaceae. In Peninsular Malaysia alone, there are about 160 species and still counting. Every year there will be one new species recorded for wild ginger. Wild gingers are able to grow in wide range of habitat. For example, sandstone, limestone, near water bodies, secondary forest, primary forest. Some of the species they can be used to indicate altitude. For example, Camphilia and Captandra, and some can be used to sense presence of water underground. This is from my own observation, and many known to have nutritional value, and some is popular as landscaping plant, and some are still understudied, and many they are not fully researched for their potential. So this is why wild ginger research is very important. The main objective of this study is to list the species found in Lodging Highland and also to have a very good photograph as a reference for future studies. So the first one will include a collection of samples, fresh samples from the field, and then tagging and bringing them back to laboratory for preparation of herbaria, and also finally depositing the herbaria into the museum for future reference. So as you can see, the picture A shows the identification in the field itself using reference book. The flower is a spot character, very important for identification until species, and then the measurement for each specimen is also very important to identify them using the key for identification, and finally taking back some specimens for record. In nutshell, sampling and identification was done in this study. Random sampling, which includes noting the habitat, location, flower color, fruit color, were also done and photographed. The specimens were then pressed with newspaper and brought to laboratory for further herbaria preparation. And some of the fruits and flowers were also prepared into wet specimens and deposited into Natural Resource Museum, Faculty of Earth Science. So after the methodology section, let's go into the study outcome. One of the main outcomes from this study is actually the preparation of the herbaria, and I have deposited the prepared herbaria into the Museum of Faculty of Earth Science. And another one more is the wet specimen for Zingiberaceae in terms of the fruit and also the flower. And another one more is the photographs which were taken during the expedition. This is very important as future reference for future studies. Table 1 shows the list of wild gingers found during the survey in Lojing Highland, Kelantan. 18 species were found and belongs to 7 genera, and the collectors' number were also indicated in the table with local name. The local name, it belongs to the Temia people and also the habitat. So out of this, only a few were not identified until the species level due to the absence of flower, and only 18 species were found. This could be due to only 4.4 kilometers were covered during the survey, and it was hindered due to the clump of bamboos, very tall bamboos and thorny bushes of rattan that actually could not allow us to further deep into the deep forest. I've included some very interesting findings, the pictures of flower for wild ginger that found in Lojing Highland. One of it is Etlingra megalosaurus. It was first described by Griffith in 1851. The plant have very huge leafy shoots which can grow up to 8 meter tall. All parts smell quite unpleasant, but interestingly the fruit can be eaten, and I have eaten it. It's very sweet when it is matured, but unfortunately the fruit must be digged from underneath the forest floor, which is quite difficult without the help of orang asli. Other than that, the rhizome reported to have medicinal property, and all this I gathered through a survey which I conducted with the orang asli themselves. This is yet another one more member of Atlingra litoralis. The flowers are very attractive with narrow lips, and the earliest ginger species was described by Danish botanist Koenig from Phuket, Thailand. So as you can see, it also grows on the forest floor. Once it blooms, it actually lights up the whole forest. It is very colorful. And the pictures on the left and side, the small picture, they shows the undeveloped or the immature buds with the rhizome. This is another one more species, Adlingera triogalacis, one of the widespread inflorescence in Lojing forest foray. As you can see, it's beautiful. The flower is very beautiful, and in the smaller picture, it actually is not the flower, but it's already past the flowering season, and it is the fruits. So I have tried the fruit. It's very sweet, very delicious to eat, and you have to dug them. You have to I'm sorry. You have to dug them from underneath the forest floor to find them, and it's quite interesting to do that. This is another one more very unique species of wild ginger known as Zingiber spectobau, or it is also known as shampoo ginger or beehive ginger. So the flower actually looks very similar to an orchid and very beautiful. And the Temia people, they believe that the water have medicinal property. They can be used to alleviate fever, so they drink them. But I dare not to drink them. I found them quite dirty, but they drink them. So this is some of the traditional knowledge practiced by the Temia people in Lojing Highlands. Moving on, the next species is Globa pattern. This is actually a very small species, about less than 1 meter tall, and usually it can be found growing near the streams or near the water bodies. So this is actually a very good bio indicator for presence of water underground. And in bushes, it covers large wet area, and this is also a very good candidate for landscape plant. This is a picture for Amumum ochromum. As you can see, the flower is in yellow, light pink and red shade, which can be found growing underneath the plant clumps. Very interesting and yet very difficult to find flower in Lodging Highland. This is a picture of fruit belonging to Alpinia mutica. The fruit turns yellowish brown when it is matured and not very sweet to eat. So in conclusion, for this study, I found about 18 species in 4.4 kilometer of nature trail, which is quite high compared to the previous study also done in the nature trail in Pulau Pangkor. The trail is about 2.1 kilometer and only 6 species of flowering ginger were found. So this actually tells us that more studies must be done at different time intervals, different seasons to capture all the flowering gingers so that the identification until species level can be done successfully. And more research must be done in different places in Kelantan so we can have a very complete diversity of gingers in Peninsular Malaysia in future. Special thank you to UMK for providing me a grant and also FSP for the facilities. Thank you everyone.